Hi guys. Today we're in the same section technically, still dividing polynomials, but we're not going to be doing any division in today's video. Today we're going to be focusing on something called the remainder theorem. So you can see why it's in the same section, right? A remainder is something that you get when you're dividing. But in this video, we're actually going to learn how to find what the remainder is without even doing any dividing. So now we're not going to find the answer to a division problem because we aren't dividing, but really what we're doing is we're figuring out what would the remainder be if I was going to divide. Okay, so here's our remainder theorem. The remainder theorem says if you divide a polynomial, and then they gave it the name p of x, so that's the top of the fraction, by x minus a, then the remainder is p of a. If you divide a polynomial by a binomial, you can find the remainder by plugging a number into the polynomial. Now notice it's x minus a, and then the number that we're plugging in is just the regular number a. So this is going to be one of those scenarios where, again, we want to change the sign. Very similar to our synthetic division yesterday. If it said x plus 2, we used the negative 2 in the little box. So we'll be doing the same thing today. Now, different times they'll write the problem in a different way. So sometimes they will actually give you a division problem and you'll need to change the sign. But sometimes they'll write it in a way where you're just going to straight up plug the number in. So just pay attention to the formatting of the problem. In this example, I've given you my polynomial, and I'm basically telling you plug in the 3 to the polynomial. Remember, theoretically, what this is asking us to do, it's asking us to figure out what is the remainder if we divide x to the 5th minus 2x to the 3rd minus x squared plus 2 by the binomial x minus 3. Now they've already changed the sign for us. They put a positive 3. I wrote x minus 3. But that's technically what we're doing. When you're plugging in the number 3, you're focusing just on the right-hand side of the problem, and you're just simplifying that side. So you're not going to do anything with the left-hand side. I'm going to put a 3 everywhere I see a letter x. So 3 to the 5th minus 2 times 3 to the 3rd minus 3 squared plus 2. This whole thing, that can be just typed into your calculator, right? So just type it into your calculator, 3 to the 5th. Remember, you can use the caret button. It looks like an arrow pointing up. It's usually right around the same spot that your x squared button is, right? Minus 2 times 3 caret 3 minus 3, hit that square button, plus 2. And the calculator is just going to spit out your answer, and your answer is 182. Okay? So that's the answer for this question. And remember, that means if I were to actually divide this problem, I would have a remainder of 182. It doesn't tell me what the whole division answer is, just tells me what the remainder is. All right, let's try another one. So here I've given you another polynomial, and I've given you what number I want you to plug in. Now remember, when it's written in this format, I've already changed the sign. So I do want you to straight up plug in a -4 and simplify. We're going to try something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to put this question on the video, and I'm going to have you guys choose what you think the answer is. So go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll check and see if you got it right. All right, guys, I hope you chose the option of 0. The remainder for this problem is 0. If you didn't get 0, a couple pointers. When you're plugging a negative number into your letter x, it's important to always surround it with parentheses. So if you didn't put the parentheses around it, that might be why you got the answer wrong. So you want to put the -4 in parentheses and put your exponent on the outside. Also, be very careful. Make sure you're using a negative button and a minus button in the appropriate places. So the minus button on your calculator is not the same as the negative button on your calculator. Hopefully those helped you fix your answer if you got this answer wrong. Now, to help lead us into our second video for today, I'd like to remind you that when you divide and you get a remainder of 0, That means that the original binomial, which was x plus 4 because we changed the sign, is a factor of that polynomial. X plus 4 is a factor because it divides evenly, because the remainder was 0. And that's going to be super helpful in our second video, which I'm going to record right now.